Also, let's go back down to our market street and see how we're getting today started. Ajibola Ero Phillips, who is the head of FX trading at FBN Quest Merchant Bank, is live to us on Skype from FMDQ Exchange Place. Ajibola, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Morning, boss, and good to be here.
Yes,
how are you?
I'm sure if there was anything you're watching on television yesterday in your office, I'm sure you're watching the market's mayhem globally and how currencies were moving up and down, and even the dollar index suffered briefly. Now it's recovering a bit this morning. So I'm sure you folks are thinking, what happens to the currency? What will happen to the Naira? What's your take? What are you folks saying yesterday amongst yourself about what's going on with the play or the power play going on globally?
Yeah, so market is a bit apprehensive, especially the local market is a bit apprehensive. It doesn't help that our market, especially the R&D market, has been really tight in recent time. And that's just because there's not been a lot of inflows. It's not so much of the outflows, really. It's more of that there's not been so much inflows coming into the market. And we know the biggest supplier of inflows into that market is the FPIs. And so there's been a slowdown. And with all of the things going on around in the global market between Trump and China, market is a bit worried in terms of what's going to happen. Are people going to slow down? Do we still have further slowdown that we have right now, and then what's going to happen to the Nigerian markets? Would liquidity just totally dry up? Because what's going to happen is there's going to be a global reduction in global growth, and so what's going to happen to the Nigerian market? Will remain attractive enough to for us to be able to attract some of these FPIs because they've been the mainstay of the R&D market. So market is a bit really apprehensive right now. That's basically what's been happening in the FX market.
Yes, but in terms of the portfolio of financial assets, how do you think foreign investors who play treasuries, Naira bonds, perhaps Euro bond, looking at what is going on now from trade tariffs to currency power play between Washington and Beijing?
For the local securities, really, it's really been a slowdown from the FPIs. Then for the Euro bonds, I expect the same thing would happen, with all of these things going around that's happening between China and the US. Global markets is going to be really apprehensive in terms of what's going to happen because you expect the growth to really slow down. With all of the devaluations and, some of the protectionist policies that will come out from, the major exporters of the world, we expect that there won't be that much interest. I mean, interest is really going to go slow down in terms of in Nigerian paper, generally, both low Euro bonds and the local securities.
Give us your outlook. Let's narrow it down a little bit to the current week. What was the FX playbook for the current week in terms of what we expect from the financial regulators to play out in the market in terms of the regular interventions for the FX, as well as whether we have a PMA or open market operations before the week runs out, liquidity-wise?
Oh yeah, there's an OMO maturity of about 109 billion maturing this week, treasury bills. I don't expect that CBN would issue another OMO, and that's just because the money market is really not that liquid right now. So we try and some more pressure will really not help that market. But again, with CBN, you never know. You never know sometimes. But we don't really expect that there will be an OMO auction. For the FX market, there's been a retail auction last week, Friday. Expect the release of those results will come out. Results of that will be released on Friday. For the R&D market is where the major plays. Market is really under the cosh right now. But in fact, the CBN will come and intervene in that market, but not so much. I think they want to leave it to the market players to continue to play out in that market. But again, what you're seeing is that that market is really rates have really gone high. Yesterday's high was about 364.25. That's a new high in the last 12 months. So I expect that will continue, except we see something that will really push inflows into the market, and I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Thank you so much, Ajibola Ero Phillips, the head of FX dealing at FBN Quest Merchant Bank, speaking to us from FMDQ Exchange Place. Thank you so much. To have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you, Boss.
It's good to have you. Okay, so let's look at the other side of the marketplace. That's talking about equities. My colleague, our business correspondent from the NSE Stock Exchange Trading Floor, Edidong Iwang, is standing by to give us what the opening call is looking like, the opening gong for today on the Nigerian stock market. Let's get a sense of that. Yesterday, the market was up 0.14%, thanks to Dangote Flour, whose reported to the market saying it has received and carefully considered a fresh offer, a bit lower. The initial offer to sell Dangote Flour to Olam International was 150 billion. Now says the 130 billion naira that was considered to be the binding offer will be tabled before shareholders at a court-ordered meeting and before the regulatory authorities, in particular the SEC. In the days ahead, the shareholders of the company will have to agree to that. 24 naira per share is what Olam International said to buy this about 20 billion shares of Dangote Flour PLC listed on the market. That also helped the stock gain 10% on Monday. Then MTN issuing a statement on the tax issue with the FRS also helped that disclosure. Also got MTN about 0.6% upside on the ticker tape. Edidong Iwang, good morning. Welcome to the show. Let's get your what you're tracking for us this morning as we start Tuesday's trading day.
Good morning, Bosin. Well, Dangote Flour is off to a rough start this morning. It's down about 0.25%. Maybe some investors see the 10% gain of yesterday as an opportunity to cash out. But the market is off to a good start. Although mild, we've seen some 0.03% gain with about 10.15 million shares traded. We've seen investor sentiment in Access Bank, which has seen about 5.7 million of the shares traded. Dangote Flour is also among the top gainers for the day, and Custodian. But we're keeping an eye out on all of that to see how the day goes. But in company disclosure, Seplat, has been notified of the sale of 3.5 million shares, that's indirectly held by its chairman, Dr. ABC Ojiako. So with this sale, it brings his direct shares to about 16.15 million, and then his indirect shares to 26.3 million, and then his voting interest has risen or fallen to about 7.21%. Now, still staying with the oil and gas sector, RAC Unity Petroleum Company says that there has been an adjustment to the qualification and closure dates for shareholder payments. Because Monday and Tuesday next week, are public holidays, the dates for investors, shareholders rather, will be paid dividend. Shareholders whose names are in the registers of members as at the close of business on Wednesday the 14th will be paid dividend, while, the register for members will be closed on the 15th. Now, let's not forget that the payment for the dividend is on the 23rd of August this year. And RAC Unity will be about the 4th or 5th company to declare dividend. This is after MTN's, announcement of a 2.95 kobo dividend and Ikeja Hotel's 3 kobo dividend. So let's see how everything goes.
Yes, let's see how everything goes. Thank you so much, Edidong Iwang. We'll check with you later in the afternoon. Chimeze Obiwago will check with you on Business Incorporated at after lunchtime, 1:30. Thank you so much. Get it red hot there and ready to go. Thank you so much for giving us the opening call on today's trading day. Let's leave it there, everyone. Don't forget, this is the 18-page document. It's for disclosure and transparency. New rules that the Central Bank of Nigeria has just released for you consumers, for your protection in the Nigeria's financial space. You need to read it up, 18-page. If you don't understand it all in English, get someone to break it down for you. What you need to know, the regulator is here to protect you. Know your rights and your duties. I'll see you again tomorrow, Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone.